Hey everyone, today I'd like to talk about my role as a teacher and as a learner. Now, as we know, to be a good teacher, we need to be a good learner. And I think a good principle to bear in mind when learning is the question of what makes a topic valuable for me. For example, or when we think about it, we all have areas of expertise in our lives which need work, which we need to work on. And what makes a topic valuable for us is its ability to help us in that area of expertise. So if I want to become, let's say, a better public speaker, I'm going to be interested in English and communications and that sort of thing. And, once I recognize the value that that subject has to help me in becoming a better speaker, I'm going to make plans of actions that help me to put those principles of that topic into practice. Just as important as understanding the principles that we need to learn as individuals is understanding the principles we need to teach to students. And understanding that the things that make a topic valuable for me aren't necessarily the things that make a topic valuable for students is important. Because if we're teaching high school, a lot of the time students aren't going to care about our subjects the same way that we care about our subjects. They're there because they have to be. And once we understand that, and that's not always the case, but it is sometimes, but once we understand that, we're able to prioritize the important and most basic parts of our lessons. So why is that important? Let's think about the allegory of the cave for a second. The man who left the cave and saw the reality of things as they were couldn't come back into the cave and teach his peers about what he saw. Why? Because his peers were still staring at the shadows on the wall instead of even just turning around to see the figures that were making those shadows. They can't comprehend the deeper, more significant truths of the subject. The same is true when we teach. We need to teach simply so that our students can understand us. Lastly, I think it's important for us to understand that we need to learn and to teach at the same time. So, most professors and teachers are experts in their fields of study. They continue to publish, to research, and to learn more about the things that they teach. This is important because when a student comes up and asks the teacher a question, the teacher is either able to answer it or B, is able to take time to leave the question on the shelf, as we call it, and then research it and come back to it. And this is good because I'm sure we've all had, questions that we've asked teachers and they just kind of give an educated guess because they don't know. But when they take time to really, say, I'm not sure, let me get back to you, it creates a camaraderie and an atmosphere of learning together. And this kind of molds into, emerges into organizing lessons and plans so that students can openly discuss questions and give comments, like a Socratic seminar or something. And this way, everyone's learning together. And I feel like I keep coming back to this principle that the question is much more important than the answer because it promotes growth toward learning about a principle and developing as a human being. And I feel like, in summary, when we understand what we need to learn, when we understand what we need to teach, and when we make efforts to learn and to teach at the same time, we're fulfilling our role as teachers and as learners. Now, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to post on the discussion board. Thanks.